Hi, and welcome to the Highlanes at Home with myself, Julie. My inspiration today is coming from Five Good Things Café, which is the new cafe that will be at the Highlanes Gallery very shortly. And it gave me food for thought, because food is an essential part of our lives. It is also one of the great pleasures in life. So it's no surprise that fruit, vegetables, meat, and drink have been common motifs in paintings from Roman times up until today. This is Vertumnus by Italian 16th century Mannerist painter Giuseppe Arcambolo, and he's best known for creating imaginative portraits made entirely of fruits, vegetables, flowers, fish, and even books. This is the fruit basket of 1590. And here we have the gardener. And this is in reverso. So no matter which way you put it, it either makes a face, a portrait, or if you turn it the opposite way, it makes a bowl of vegetables. Really clever. And this is his portrait called Water from 1566. And the man's face is completely made of fishes. Wow. Next, we have the most recognisable painting in the Western world. This is the Last Supper of 1495 to 1498, painted in the Santa Maria delle Grazie church in Milan, straight onto a wall, so it's a mural. And according to Christian scripture, the practice of taking communion originated at the Last Supper. The bread and the wine represented Jesus' body and blood. There may have also been eels and oranges and dried figs and olive oil and honey there too. This is by Vincenzo Campi, and it's called the Ricotta Eaters, and they're gorging themselves on cheese. This is Bruegel, and we can see that he's showing us what gluttony does. If you eat too much, they're lying flat on their backs because they're stuffed from eating too much food. Can anybody guess who this is? Well, it's Vincent van Gogh, his early work from 1885. This is called the Potato Eaters. This is René Magritte, and this is called Son of Man. And you can see that this man in the bowler hat and suit has his face almost totally obscured by this apple, because he liked this idea of hiding things behind other things. This here is Salvador Dali, and he loved a huge, big food feast party. He made food art, really, technically. And this is Picasso, a still life with oysters and lemons and apples and grapes. And this is early work before he went totally cubist. This is a tin of tomato soup, yes, correct, by Andy Warhol from 1961, between 1961 and 1962. And he made 32 of these canvases. And this was pop art. And now we're going to go on and make our very own works of art. Hi, and welcome to the Highlanes at Home with myself, Julie, today. Just a moment ago, we looked at artists such as Andy Warhol, we looked at Picasso, we looked at Salvador Dali, and we looked at Giuseppe Arcambolo with those wonderful fruit faces and vegetable faces. So today's inspiration was Five Good Things, the new cafe opening at the Highlanes Gallery very soon. So keep an eye out on both Facebook pages and online as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to do fruit and vegetable stamp art today. So anything you can get your hands on around the house, like an apple, a lemon, a pepper. Onions are brilliant because they have all those circles on the inside, so they stamp up really well. Even broccoli is great. I've cut up a potato here. I've scored it with a knife, and I've cut out a little top to make a pineapple shape, so we can stamp those as well. Now, if you can get your hands on a brush and some poster paints, this is brilliant. But don't worry, if you don't have a brush, you don't need to. You can just stamp the fruit straight in. But the brush just makes it a little more supple. And then when you go to put it on, it's less gloopy and less sloppy, okay? That's the only advantage of the brush. Things like celery, if you can get them, and just chop them right there at the base, straight across the whole bunch. I'll show you in a few minutes what we make with that. You're going to need some A4 paper, or I have this A3 sketch pad here. Now, a nice big A3 page is great because you get lots of your patterns down on that. But don't worry, again, if you have A4 paper, brilliant. You could stick even two pieces together to make it larger and turn it round on its back, okay? Now, this is just a warning, because we're dealing with cutting fruit and vegetables here, you're going to need an adult to help you with a sharp knife, okay? 100%. So if we can get the adults to cut the fruit up for the kid, that would be wonderful. So get all your fruit ready, get your paints, get your brushes if you have them, and pop down some paper and get ready to paint. And I'll be back with you in a few moments. Oh look, I look like a René Magritte painting. So you take your apple, You're literally just going to slice it right down the middle. And you'll be left with a lovely little shape like that. Okay. And there's the onion. So we have circle upon circle there, concentric circles, so they're lovely. And now I have my paints all prepared. All my fruit and vegetables are cut up and ready to go. So now it's time to start. Okay, so I have coloured all the tips of the celery in here in red, and I'm going to just plop it down here and hope for the best. Give it a good push and wait about 5 seconds and see then what we get. Now I've stamped down all my celery, and I've used the celery as a starting point to inspire me for this. It looks like a bunch of red roses and flowers, and I'm going to colour in my broccoli with some yellow paint and dab that in amongst all the flowers as well. And hopefully we'll get a big beautiful bunch of flowers from this. Now here we have the scored potato in the pineapple style. So let's see what we get when we stamp this down. Give this a good push. Okay. Oh. And voila. Here's the top of the pineapple. Let's give this a go. Push that down. Oh! So that turned out well. So if you just keep repeating that pattern all over your page, that would be quite interesting. Okay, so I finished the potato shape stamping, and if you have a look here, you can see that I've just repeated the motif of the pineapple throughout. So that's one idea. So this is the bunch of flowers, which I made simply using the celery, which reminded me of a bunch of roses. And then I added in some broccoli to the mix, and then I used this little small pepper here, and I just basically drew the stalks in. I painted the stalks in there as well. So that's it there. Now the other idea you can do is you could draw something like this yourself onto a page, the fish, and you could use the other pieces of celery, not the bunch that we used for the roses, but like that, a single piece, and you could literally dot this on like so to make a pattern. Now that's come out, as you can see, just go over it. If it comes out too clumpy, just take some of that off there. Yeah, and you could go all the way down to the end in different colours and have a multicoloured fish. So the possibilities with the food stamp art are endless. You can just use the piece of fruit or vegetable as your starting point, and then you can decide what and which way you want to draw and decorate it. Now that's the fish scales done with the single celery stick, and then obviously you can paint the rest of it, the face, and decorate the background. So just to give you an idea of how you can use the fruit or vegetable stamp as your starting point, which will springboard you onto another idea. Okay. Now, if you were particularly inspired by the Italian painter Giuseppe Arcambolo and the fruit faces, you could try and recreate your own using different fruit and veg to make the hair and the eyes and the nose and the mouth. You could come up with some really interesting things. So see how you get on. And if you have a mushroom spare that you can cut up, they make great ears. There you go. Okay guys, so you can do anything you like with your stamp art. You can turn them into characters like I did here with 2 apple motif stamps. I just had some Google eyes lying around, so I just turned them into little characters. You can simply just stamp the fruit and vegetables as is. Look at the onion there. The layers and the circles, they come out just beautifully. And you can see here that this is a pepper, but I've chosen to do it in blue, so it looks a little different in that context. Or you could do a fruit face inspired by Giuseppe Arcambolo. The broccoli I used here for the hair all around the border, and I think that came out quite nice. I think my favourite so far is the potato stamping because you can choose whatever you like and get your mom and dad to carve out a design for you on the potato and then use it as a stamp. Here's another idea again. You can finish these at home, something like that, a fish with just a single celery stalk. Very colourful. And then last of all, we did this bouquet of flowers, literally using the celery and the broccoli and a small little jalapeno there for the green parts, and I just painted in the stalks at the bottom. So there's just so much and so many ideas that you can do with stamp art, especially with fruit and vegetables. Okay guys, that's the end of the workshop. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun and that you enjoyed it. That's the most important thing. If you can, please do send in your responses because I really love seeing those. They're always so beautiful and so wonderful. So that would be lovely. And keep an eye out for 5 good things which inspired me today. They're the new cafe coming to the Highlanes Gallery. So look out for those guys. Their food is delicious. And hopefully we get to see each other soon.